who saw potential in it and handheld the project to see the ultimate culmination, which was the Academy Award. And for all of you people in the media who have stood by and out of sheer love for this incredible piece of art, taken it to the next level. So thank you very, very much, all of you, for being here. Well, what do I say about myself except that you tell a Tamil man, show up wearing a veshti, and he'll do that any time of the day. So I'm absolutely at ease because I'm with you, my friends from the media, and trying to do what I hope I do best. But before that, let's start at the trailer. I'm sure all of you have seen it. For those of you who have been living under a rock, we'd like you to see it. And for those of us who have seen it again and again, I think each time we see it, it brings a new perspective. That's the beauty of the Elephant Whisperers. Please. I see we have the same color. You're far more graceful than I could ever be.
Is this on? Thank you, everyone, for coming. And yes, the sun is shining. It's shining bright, surprising. But since you said that I'm articulate, I would like to tell everyone that I'm deeply honored to be part of this journey in coming and actually just being the spokesperson for all the lovely people who worked on this documentary. I just happen to have that honor. They have been deeply involved in this, and they are the real people who must get the credit for this entire journey. And so
How does it feel to be part of history, the Oscar? That's the big one.
I think absolutely surreal, absolutely insane. I think first as an Indian, because over the years, being a part of the entertainment industry, you always look at this most sort of coveted award, the most prestigious global stage, and you always just see it on the screen, and you're seeing other stories and productions from all around the world. So I think it was just so amazingly surreal for all of us at Netflix India to actually see an Indian production, two women from India, a director, producers, Guneet and Achin, and really just a most beautiful story, Rishi, going from, such a beautiful part of India, an elephant camp, such, it's such an emotional story. It's so honest. It's so, spiritual in its nature, which is something we see in India from the very beginning, the bond between, humans and animals and how we nurture them. So many of our gods are like that. And, so I just feel that, that bond that is being celebrated here, that was the most beautiful part. So as an Indian, I was proud. And then doubly so as a Netflix exec, because I think that when your production goes to this kind of a stage, I think it's an entirely different honor, pride, moment of pride. And to, just see our producers and directors stand there and receive that statuette that everyone looks at, I think it's truly special.
Lovely. We're going to chat some more, so let's sit
Yes.
down. And we're going to call a few of our friends over also. I look at what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve at Netflix India, and I have nothing but respect. And one of the reasons is this. I mean, when you're unearthing stories, I would imagine that in the documentary genre, romantics would be perhaps easier to greenlight, considering it's films, it's popular culture, it's the legacy of Yash Chopra. But the story of two beautiful baby elephants and their parents, which is Bomman and Billie, how did you unearth that one? What made you believe in that particular story? Because it's not built for commercial stardom overnight.
Yeah, I think, thank you for that question, Rishi, because many people don't really even, sort of understand the process of really bringing such really little known stories to life. For us at Netflix, it really begins from the passion and vision of creators. And, how they are looking at an idea. What is the purpose behind a story? What is it meant to do? And a beautiful, soft story like this can actually get completely lost in the din of so many stories that are louder and, seemingly punch higher. But I think here is where I think I would really like to give credit to so many Netflix execs, and particularly Alok Devichand, who's the commissioning executive on The Elephant Whisperers, that he saw the beauty in what Kartiki and the team at Sikya were trying to do, what Kartiki's vision was in really following these mahouts, Bomman and Billie, and what it really means, at this moment in time, in the history of the world, in the history of the planet. What are the stories that need to be told and that must come out? Why are they urgent to tell? Why are they beautiful to tell? And why will they touch the hearts of so many people across the world? So I think that is the journey of finding those stories and seeing what will create awareness, create an awakening, have a conversation. And I'm so happy that the Elephant Whisperers has actually started that conversation. It's brought it center stage, and the world has seen the beautiful work of Bowman and Belly and all the forest officials who run these camps.
So beautifully put. To me, it's a life affirming story. And why I use the word life affirming is very simple. You could have a terrible day, you could have a despondent day out, and then you come on and you see the Elephant Whisperers, and it just infuses you with so much warmth, sensitivity, and positivity. And I think that itself needs to be lauded. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd really like you to put your hands together to welcome the director, Kartiki Gonsalves, the executive producer, Kartiki Gonsalves also executive produces this, and producer Guneet Monga to join us on stage. Kartiki, the last week has been such a rush of blood to the head. Is it sinking in? The first Indian production and documentary to win an Oscar. Tell me about that.
It's absolutely surreal. The entire journey has just been one crazy journey from 2017 to right up to now. So 6 years of craziness, I think. But just happy that it is what it is.
They want you to pose for the camera, Kartiki. Both you ladies, all three of you looking so lovely. Guneet, yeah, I mean, sometimes what happens is it's like a wave, isn't it? I mean, if somebody asks you to describe what you felt at that very moment, must have been euphoric, stunned, whatever. But then how do you view it now, a week later, when you look back?
I think this is the real celebration coming back home. So I just feel we are reeling into celebrating with everybody at home. So yes, that moment was absolutely surreal and epic and proud and humbling and such an honor. But I think the reeling in is happening now. So the joy I really feel is the joy that I see in everyone's eyes. This is these eyes and these faces and smiles make us feel proud. So thank you for an awesome welcome and for celebrating us all the way.
We'd like to invite a man who played a very pivotal part in this journey. Please put your hands together for the producer of The Elephant Whisperers, co-founder of Sikya, Achin Jain.
Achin Jain,
Achin
my
is,
partner
yeah,
in filmmaking.
Achin has spearheaded some of the most challenging and unconventional films, so many acclaimed titles, such a diverse range. When I look at what Sikya has done in terms of the scale, the subject, the budgets, and the complexities that you've taken on. So many congratulations to you too. Yeah. Are you in love with elephants just a wee bit more, Achin?
Yes, I think a lot more after this, after living through the story of Bomman-Billie and Raghu and Amu, the words of Bomman-Billie, the the our stars Amu and Raghu and their actions. So yeah, I mean we have a pet, a lab, Master Shifu. So I think for us at Sikya, so I mean for us, the for the first time we have discovered a connection between different nature. I mean, for us, I mean, when I see Shifu or Raghu and Ammu, there are so many similarities. So it's just bizarre. And I mean, I think the resonation and that love has been throughout the world with the fan art, the people, the fan art that we have seen. So yeah, a lot more in love with baby elephants now.
Guys, I'd like you to give a round of applause to the team of Sikya Entertainment. The entire team, please.
Thank you. They're all here. Can you
They're
guys
all
stand
here.
up? Just stand up.
You know, I beg your pardon. I take up two people's places, and it's a limited stage, so we couldn't call everybody on
Rana,
stage. But we want to
Krish.
respect you. We want to honor you. So just thank you very much,
Our
Team
DOP
Sikya.
is here. Our DOP is
Yeah,
Krish
we'll introduce you to
Makija.
them later, one by one. But right now, just another round of applause, Team Sikya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, so much. Means the most.
Kartiki, let's do a rewind. Your first ever meeting. I mean, I am absolutely stunned. I just had a 5-minute interaction with Bomman and Billie. Just wanted to, get to know them. And they're so beautiful and pure. Your first meeting with Bomman and Billie. Tell us about how that went.
Well, to begin with, I actually grew up in the Nilgiri Mountains, and I was driving on my way back from Ooty to Bangalore to pack my things and come back home. And that's when I saw baby Raghu, and he was just 3 months old at the time, and he had his trunk wrapped around Bowman's arm, and they were walking off to the side of the road. I was hanging out of the car, which I shouldn't have been doing, but then I actually pulled the car over to the side, and I jumped out, and I went and joined them. We went down to the river for a bath, and that's when Raghu ran in full speed into the river. I've never seen a baby elephant run so fast. He ran in, and he pretty much looked like a baby helicopter. His trunk was being thrown around in all directions, and that's when I really started to notice that you had this tiny little elephant calf that was so extremely vulnerable. And that made me question why this calf was with a human being, because you had these two species here, and you had this beautiful, unique bond that they shared. And I think that sort of led me forward to think about, I think about why this little young calf was with a human being. And that's when I realized that the Asian elephants were endangered, and that there were only about 35,000 to 40,000 of them left. And here we had baby Raghu, who was actually directly involved with how climate change was playing out, because his mother had wandered into a nearby herd. She and her herd had wandered into a nearby village in search of food and water, and that's how she got electrocuted and died. So I think the entire process of how that happened just wanted me to help protect elephants and to document this beautiful sacred bond that they shared. And it's soon after that that I actually come across Belly, because she was back and doing a lot of the housework at that point. So I didn't know she existed. It was something that unraveled over time. And it really just started out with the beautiful connection that I shared with baby Raghu and Bowman at the time. And that's how this journey came into being. And I also wanted to just go ahead and also focus on indigenous people, because we had Bowman, and after just talking to him for so many hours, I realized that they had this beautiful connection with the space that they lived in. And that's something that I also wanted to bring out to the forefront. And that's how this entire journey began.
That's lovely. Just before they went off to the Oscars, I was lucky enough to do a Zoom session with Guneet as well as Kartiki. And I was stunned to know that there was 450 hours of footage. 450 hours of footage shot by them. And that had to be encapsulated into a 40-minute film. Now, that is a superhuman effort. And I think that itself deserves an Oscar, which is wonderful. But what I loved is this delicate footage of the forest and nature. It looked as though you were truly trying to capture the soul of the animals and the people who were living there. So in that aspect, the journey of the Elephant Whisperers, and you as director and cinematographer, the steps that you consciously took to make us feel we're part of Bowman, Ellie, Raghu, Ammu's world.
Having grown up in the same space, I experienced the beauty that the place had to offer right from a very young age. And that's something that I really wanted to showcase to the world. I wanted people to immerse into their life and to be able to experience all the different animals that were around. And in fact, we would actually head out, and I think Krish, who's here in the audience right there, he was on this journey from the very beginning, and we would head out and go out at 4 a.m. in the morning, and we'd head off into the forest. We'd try to record in the most beautiful light. And yeah, that's how it all evolved. We would spend lots of hours out in the wilderness and capturing the beauty of the place. I think it's really important to showcase a place in all its beauty. And we had that right where we were in this documentary.
Lovely. Monica, debut director. Amazing. And I want to laud you and Team Netflix. Every time I give you a direct compliment, you always shrug it off and say it's the team. You don't like being self-laudatory, which is why we love you so much. But really, the fact that here's a girl, directorial debut, wins an Oscar. What does this mean for young creators? And what The Elephant Whisperers has done in terms of empowering young creators? And that's really what you set out to do at Netflix India, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's just so amazing to see Kartiki being, in her first film as a director, and, having producers also who are a part of the journey. And for us at Netflix, it really matters to, find the raw talent which is out there, all the creators who are just bubbling with stories to come to Netflix like Kartiki did. And, really, wanting to tell the stories in the most courageous, the most honest way, and stories that can actually reach out, have universal appeal. And I think for me, personally, the fact that all of us as execs at Netflix are huge fans of storytelling, I think that is what we eat, sleep, breathe. Guneet and Achin know that. We have 100 conversations around that all the time, and with all our partners and creators. I think it's just something that runs deep at Netflix, which is respect for stories, storytellers. And I think we would not be the service that we are if it were not for first-time storytellers like Kartiki, or seasoned storytellers who find that one story that can, just go big and, go all over the world. But I think fundamentally it is about the stories and the people who have the vision, passion, bring it together. We are there to be as strong, creative enablers and to make their journey and their vision come to life.
And all my friends from the media will agree when I say this, that it's wrong to be judgmental when people run after the masses, the larger stories, the low-hanging fruit, because that is a way of life that some producers have chosen for themselves. And it's wrong of us to judge them. But at the other end of the spectrum, you look at somebody like Guneet Monga, you look at Sikhya, and you see that it's not just about the low-hanging fruit and running after the masses, it's also about the underrated stories. And instinctively, Guneet, I always feel that you go after the underrated stories. Is that a conscious choice?
I honestly feel very spiritual about my work. Sikhya means keep learning, keep growing. Seekh se sikhya bana. And I genuinely feel stories choose us. Be it Lunchbox, be it Paglet, be it Period End of Sentence, be it Elephant Whisperers. I feel like stories choose us, and to show up with integrity and honesty every day is the job that we do. And everybody at Sikhya and the beautiful, and we are empowered by Netflix, and we have a deep relationship, and I think um, it's deeply intuitive and instinctive to fall in love with the story, and we work in long format. It takes years for a story to come to life, and to show up every day with all your honesty is all we can do. And awards, rewards may follow, may not follow. This is epic that happened in our journey as filmmakers, but really I think at Sikhya, as filmmakers, we are in service of the story and the filmmaker.
Lovely, lovely. That's a spiritual answer. It's wonderful. Achin, I see natural history filmmakers talk about this all the time, the complexities of shooting with nature, the complexities of shooting with wildlife. And you've done both of that. So I'd like you to talk about the challenges involved and, your whole perspective with the struggle and then the success after that.
I think more than the struggle, I think the challenge in general was that we were shooting this around COVID. In a way, there were a lot of challenges. Of course, we were shooting in a remote area. The first time we met Kartiki was, I think, physically we met her after a year of the. I think we had so many Zoom conversations for a year. The fact that we were dealing and we were operating in a time when the world was so negative, I think the story gave us a lot of hope. The fact the first time we saw the some footage, it was we have never seen something like that. So I think yes, in general, the documentary has its own challenges. The fact that the journey for this docu has been for 5 years, be it different schedules of shooting and filming in the remote area, or to even deal with that amount of footage. I think, but I think there was a vision that Kartiki had at the start of the when she set out, which was a sacred bond between the man and the nature. And somewhat I think over these many years at different stages with different HODs, different people coming together, we fought those challenges in a very joyous manner. So it never felt like a probably on any other production that we might face, or the the moment you think of a wildlife or a nature, the kind of challenges. I think it was quite fun. It was quite fun to deal with baby elephants and just to be around them. So I think challenges were less and the process was more joyous for us.
Lovely,
You
keeping
know,
it fun.
I just want to add there that, when you look at the space of wildlife, you really look at men. It's been image of, those long lenses, open jeeps. There's a very macho-ness to wildlife so many years. And here's this young woman, a natural history photographer with her purest vision. And I'm so grateful that she chose Sikya to produce and she reached out. At any stage and at any audience that I get, I want to really say that this has been one of the most beautiful journeys, and we got to learn a lot about wildlife with her on this journey, because it was also our first wildlife venture and a project.
Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like you to, like all of us, to welcome the true hero and heroine of the Elephant Whisperers. Now, before I call them on stage, like I said, to call them mahouts would not encompass what they truly mean. They are parents. Parents to Raghu, to Ammu. And here they are, Bowman and Belly. The pure soul. மாதிரி யானையோட எப்படி இருக்க முடியும் அன்பா?
நமக்கு வந்து சின்ன வயசில் அது எங்கள் அப்பா கூட இருந்து அதே எனக்கு பழக்கம். அதே மாதிரி இந்த யானைக்கு எப்படி வளர்த்தணும் எப்படி பண்ணணும் அது எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஆசையாக இருக்குது. அதே மாதிரி இன்னும் ரொம்ப ஆசையோடு நான் வளர்த்துட்ருக்குறேன். ரொம்ப பெருமையாக இருக்குது யானை கூட வளர்ந்துருக்கு.
He says, my father taught me, my grandfather taught my father, and I will teach the next generation. And that's what all of you need to do. If you love animals, you must teach your children, and their children must teach their children. பேலியம்மா சொல்லுங்கம்மா, எப்படி இவ்வளோ ஆசையாக இருக்கீங்க யானையோட?
வந்து ரகு வந்ததுலேருந்து தான் யானைன்னு எனக்கு தெரியும். அது ரகு வரும்போது இவங்க கூப்பிட்டு சேர்த்துனாங்க. நிறைய புண்ணாயிருச்சு, யானை குட்டினா போகிற மாதிரி இருந்துருச்சு. அதுக்கு அம்மாவை கூப்பிட்டு கேட்கலான்னு சொல்லிட்டு கேட்டாங்க. சரி நான் சொன்னேன், சரி அதுக்கு ஒரு அம்மா தாய் இருக்கிற பாசம் தான் வேணும். சரி நான் வளர்க்குறேன், கூட இருந்து எனக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி கொடுத்தப்போ தானே எல்லாமே ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்க. டாக்டர்லேருந்து கமெண்ட்லேருந்து பாஸ்ட்டு ரேஞ்சரு எல்லாமே ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்க. அதெல்லாம் புண்ணாருன்னு இருந்தாக்கா அது ஒரு அம்மா மாதிரி என்ன பழகிருச்சு. அம்மா மாதிரி பழகும்போது அப்போ பொம்மி வந்துருச்சு. பொம்மியை அந்த மாதிரி தான் 3 மாதம் குட்டியை வந்து பழகும்போது 2 குட்டி தாயின்னு தான் என்னை இப்போ பார்க்குது. இப்போ கூட நான் விட்டுட்டு வந்த தேடுது. அந்த மாதிரி நான் வளர்த்து டாக்குமெண்ட் எடுத்து கார்த்திக் அம்மாவுக்கு தான் தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்லணும். இப்போ 2 யானை குட்டிக்கு கார்த்திக்கு தான் தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்லணும். இப்போ
Oh, this is so beautiful. Allow me to translate this, please. She says, even now that I've come to the city and I've left the Pakada camp, my babies there must be longing for their thai, for their mother. And that's what I am to them. I want to thank Bomman, she says, for calling me on as the mother of the first elephant and then the second elephant, because I myself didn't believe that I could be a mother to 2 living, thriving elephants, and now I can't get enough. And I want to keep mothering these elephants. And I want to go back to my elephants. Romba nandrima. Romba thanks. My next question obviously is about how they've become famous. I mean, they went and met Chief Minister Stalin. They're now in Mumbai. People have started recognizing them because thanks to Netflix India, Team Sikya, it's become a global phenomenon. You know, people are watching it in various languages. So I want to know how much the Oscar victory has actually affected them. Bomman-Billie, ஆஸ்கர் பரிசு பெற்று நீங்கள் வந்து பெரிய ஹீரோயின் ஆகிட்டீங்க, நாயகனாக ஆகிட்டீங்க. நீங்கள் இந்த ஆஸ்கர் பரிசு பெற்று என்ன ஃபீலிங், என்ன நீங்கள் வந்து எப்படி உங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி இதயத்தில் என்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணுறீங்க நீங்கன்னு சொல்லுங்கள் ப்ளீஸ்.
நமக்கு வந்து இந்த இதெல்லாம் நமக்கு சரியாக இந்த மாதிரி அமையும்னு நாங்கள் எதிர்பார்க்கல. இந்த மாதிரி இந்த அமைஞ்சதுக்கு நமக்கு எல்லாத்துக்குமே நம்ம 2 யானை குட்டி, இந்த கார்த்திகை மேடம், இதெல்லாம் நமக்கு அவங்க இது பண்ணது தான். அதுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு தான் நான் மெயினாக நன்றி சொல்லணும். கார்த்திக் மேடமுக்கு 2 யானை குட்டி நாங்கள் வளர்த்தி பெருசு பண்ணி ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட் எடுத்து இந்த மாதிரி வெளியே வந்ததுக்கு இந்த காட்டு நாயக்கனுக்கு சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது.
I am a cartoon icon, I am a protector of the forest, and I feel immense pride that the stories of my babies have been put in front of the world. And I want to thank Kartiki madam for actually bringing my story and the story of my children to the entire world. And that is so important to me. Beyond the prize, the pride that I feel as a father. Beliyamma, நீங்களும் சொல்லுங்க. ஆஸ்கர் ஜெயிச்சப்புறம் எப்படி ஃபீலிங் உங்களுக்கு?
நல்ல சந்தோஷம் இருக்குது. எனக்கு இது ஃபஸ்ட்டில் இந்த மாதிரி எனக்கு தெரியாது. எப்போ கார்த்திகை வந்து அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட் எடுத்து இப்போ இங்கெல்லாம் வரணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த ஊரெல்லாம் வந்து பார்த்து மக்கள் நிலை பார்க்கும்போது என் சொந்த மாதிரி தான் பார்க்குறேன். நான் வேறன்னு பார்க்கல. எனக்கு பயம் இல்லை. என்னை காட்டுக்குள்ளே போனதை பயப்படணும். இப்போ எல்லா பசங்க முன்னாடி அம்மான்னு சொல்லிட்டு நிற்கிறேன். நான் 2 யானை குட்டிக்கு அம்மா மாதிரி எல்லா பசங்க எனக்கு அம்மா அம்மான்னு சொல்லும்போது என் பசங்க பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் நான் நிற்கிறேன். எனக்கு சந்தோஷம் தான்.
Oh, that's woman power. She says Bomman might feel a little shy, but I have no fear because I've lived in the forests. You people might think Oscar is a big prize, but for me, the real prize is coming and meeting all you wonderful people who have given me so much respect, and they have given me respect as a mother. And I want to thank everybody here. And it's wonderful to be able to come to a big city and meet so many people. Wonderful, wonderful. My last question has got to be about future plans. I mean, there's Raghu, there's Ammu, these wonderful elephants that they've nurtured and they've brought up as parents. அடுத்தது என்ன? இன்னும் யானைகள் வந்திருக்காங்களா?
அடுத்தது ஒரு குட்டி வந்திருக்குங்க. தர்மன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு குட்டி வந்திருக்கு ஃபாரஸ்ட்குள்ளே இருந்து. நானும் போய் எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்தேன். அம்மா வந்து கிடையாது, அம்மா இறந்துருச்சு. ஒரே இடத்துல 3 யானை இறந்துருச்சு. அதனோட குட்டி நான் கொண்டு வந்து அங்கே விட்டுட்டு இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறேன். இன்னும் போய் அந்த குட்டியை நான் வளர்த்தி பெருசு பண்ணி அதுக்கு நல்லா பண்ணணும்.
தர்மம், ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அழகாக பேர் வச்சுருக்கீங்க. வெரி நைஸ். பெலி சொல்லுமா, அடுத்தது என்ன?
என்ன பண்ணுறது, எனக்கு சொல்லிட்டாங்க, அம்மா நீ இதை இருந்து பெருசு பண்ணி கொடுக்கணும். எல்லாம் 2 குட்டிக்கு வந்து அம்மான்னு சொன்னது தானே. அதனால் இந்த குட்டியை கொஞ்சம் பெருசு பண்ணி கொடுன்னு சொன்னதுக்கு நான் வேண்டான்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். இப்போ அது பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு மாதிரி குழந்தையில் அம்மா இல்லை தப்பு குட்டினால எனக்கு பாசம் வந்துட்டு, சரி நான் வளர்த்து கொடுக்குறேன் நான் பேசி கொடுத்துட்டு இன்னும் வளர்த்து தான் கொடுக்கணுண்ணா.
My God, she's really on a roll. She says, it is sometimes painful that when I bring up elephants and then they have to be left back into the wild. As a mother, you bring up children and then they go away. So I was apprehensive about bringing up another child. But when they brought Dharmam to me, Dharmam is the new elephant, and they told me that Dharmam's mother has passed away, how could I say no to bring up that baby elephant? And Bomman before that said he's waiting to go back because Dharmam is already with them and they're going to raise Dharmam. Unfortunately, Dharmam's mom had passed away and the 3 siblings have also gone missing. So he's the only elephant in that particular brood, the breed, the tribe, that they were able to save and bring back to Teppakadu, their camp. Romba nandrima. Thank you so much. Bomman, Billie, நீங்கள் இங்கே வந்திருக்காத உங்கள் கருணை, உங்கள் இதயத்தை பார்த்து நம்ம எல்லாம் ரொம்ப ஆச்சரியமாக பார்க்குறோம் உங்களை. நீங்கள் வந்து மேடம் வந்து கையா யானைகளுக்கு
shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe, I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet
Cause I
next
don't
to
give
me.
a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta
Cause I
struggle
don't
through
give
the
a fuck
sewer.
what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
It is an
Thank you so
honor,
much.
like we're
Thank you.
meeting you after a very big win. So my question is, at which point did you decide to take the film to Guneet and Netflix?
So I started the journey back in 2017, and we shot quite a bit of the documentary already. And at that point, I realized that this was such a special story to tell. And I think one of the core ideas was that I think one of the main core messages that I wanted to share this with the world. So that's when I reached out to Netflix and Alok Devi Chan in specific, and he's just amazing. And at that point, he just watched the small little promo that we had, and he fell in love with the story, and that was the beginning. Soon after, we had Sikya and Guneet come on board, and Achin, and that's how the story all began. This happened in around May of 2020. So, welcome.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go
my
ahead.
question.
Just one moment, ma'am. He raised his hand right at the beginning. Yes.
Yes, 100%. I think this does, and I hope that it paves the way for for all people looking out to start out with small stories, and also small documentaries that don't have large budgets, because this is my debut film, and my background, I used to be a sales girl at Fab India. I worked in a gym, and I was in advertising for a couple of years, and here I am today. So I think I really hope this allows a whole generation of people just stepping out in the world and showcasing the diversity that India has as local documentarians. I think that's really important, that we go out and share the beauty of our country with the outside world.
I think the coming of Netflix in India in such a big way has supported a lot of documentaries as a format, and made Indian audiences used to watching and appreciating documentaries. It's definitely a large platform like Netflix that is empowering storytellers, and that definitely allows more documentaries to happen as a format and to be celebrated in the biggest way. I hope this win will encourage a lot of young filmmakers, first-time filmmakers, and a lot of documentaries to get made and taken up more and more. I think India is definitely having a moment from last year, winning Cannes, Sundance. As documentarians, there are so amazing documentarians. I think Oscar is a huge, huge honor. But I think it would not have been possible without a platform like Netflix empowering filmmakers for this format.
Thank you for your patience, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Akriti here from Absolute India News. My question is for all of you. First of all, congratulations for the win. And I want to know, like, how was that moment like? Like the first reaction when you guys were announced as the winner at the Oscars?
It was actually really surreal, I think, at the moment. I replayed it in my head a couple of times because I was thinking of all the other documentaries that it could have been. But then I realized it was us, and it was Bomman-Billie, our elephants, and us up there. So we didn't waste any time hugging each other. I half held on to Guneet, but then I realized we had to run to the stage because the clock was ticking.
That's what I was doing.
And it was more of, okay, we need to go speak now. And I think that was the time that we had to speak to the world about our messages. So, yes.
Hi, I am Akshay from INS Newswire. My question is for Monica. Netflix has been on a roll currently. I mean, there's stellar content coming up. There's Monica, which is my recent favorite, Monica, my darling, and of course, we have the Oscar winner. How would the upcoming slate look like for Netflix, and what all content we'll get to see in times to come?
I think first, the fact that these lovely people, who've made this amazing documentary are sitting here and have brought home the Oscar is a moment to celebrate. And I think also want to say that all the creators, all the storytellers, filmmakers that we are working with, I think the rest of the year brings some amazing stories in all genres, from series to films to documentaries to reality shows. And I think for us at Netflix, for the entire team at Netflix India, the effort is to really keep entertaining audiences, to make them see a different perspective on things, to really enjoy, like Rishi said earlier in the, sort of afternoon, that at the end of the day, you come back home, you kick your shoes off, and you want to see something which just takes your mind off what you've been struggling with. Just enjoy, probably cry a little, laugh a little. I think that's what we've planned. And you're going to see amazing stories being belted out week on week. And really thank you to all the creators who make Netflix what it is, and to everyone who's a part of that journey.
Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the team Elephant Whisperers for the big win. My question is to the three lovely ladies. For the longest time, the industry has been having this conversation that we like to see more women behind the camera. How hopeful are you that the Oscar win is going to propel the direction further for more women to be seen behind the camera in the writing team, in the production team, in the directorial team?
Yes, definitely there is less than 5% women who are directors, and that stats is against us. But as producers, as Sikya, I can tell you that most of our work is female-centric stories or creators. And that's what we do our bit. I can definitely say from my point of view, Netflix has a huge push with women's stories. Most of their leads in amazing shows, in big budget shows, uh, and also empowering producers like companies led by women, and further allowing us to empower. It's a whole chain, the business of filmmaking. I think it is, and I think your question is valid, but I can tell you that there is a lot of work happening. There's a lot of celebration that is happening. The change and the push in stats will not be immediate, but in this decade, it will be significant, and how, for sure.
I would like to add that in the wildlife industry, there has been a massive change already. We have many young women who have stepped out right now, who are cinematographers, directors, and people in front of the camera. And I think it's really beautiful to see this change happening. And in the coming years ahead, we're going to have a very strong woman force in the wildlife industry in India.
You know, I'm going to step in here because nobody's asked Achin a question.
Yeah, sorry, Rishi, can I
Sorry.
just
Yeah,
quickly
please.
add to this? You know, from a Netflix perspective, I would just say that we take this very, very seriously, very responsibly. That's why we have 50% of execs as women. Women are one half of the world. And there is no reason why we should not be represented, stories be told. So I think like Guneet and Kartiki said, and I'm sure Achin and Rishi will agree, that it is a more fairer representation when we have more women telling stories of women, by the women, for women, and for the men. I think, and there are so many men out there who also want the same. So I think it's a journey, like Guneet said, we are all on it. And as members of the media, actually, it'll be amazing. I can see so many women journalists here. So I think it's amazing. More power to all of us, and more power to fairer storytelling and representation.
Yeah, Achin, being surrounded by women at Sikya. Talk about how empowering that is.
I think not just at Sikya, I think in general on a film set, or even while dealing with Netflix, while talking, I was just wondering, I think most of my conversation while dealing with this platform or a studio is with the females. So I think in general, I don't think we consciously, I think somewhere it's great that, people have started noticing that and focusing that, but I think as our storytelling, we have been as conscious as possible in our crewing, in our, and I think as a storyteller, what is in our hand is the storytelling, to be very honest. So that's where our real focus is. I mean, at Sikya, what we are doing is telling a lot of those stories, developing a lot of those stories. I think yes, but behind the camera stats is true, and something I think I have changed. I have seen that change in the last 15 years, and hopefully next decade, the change will be more drastic.
Rishikesh,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
I have a question for Achin. Achin, what does it take to make a film ready for Oscar?
यार अगेन आई मीन द रियलिटी इज कि किसी को नहीं पता कि क्या ऑस्कर में जाने वाला है. आप बहुत ऑनेस्टी से एक फिल्म बना रहे हैं. And again, I mean, for us, Elephant Whisperer was as special as it is right now. I mean, for us, when December 8 it was releasing, I don't think we had a basic iota, कि ये फिल्म ऑस्कर जीतेगी.
I was busy getting married.
She was busy getting married. Kartiki got an urgent visa, took a flight to US just to experience the release of the film. And it's so amazing that she is back with an Oscar. So I don't think any of us can plan. And it feels very weird when people say कि ये award कैसे आएगा. I think आप जितनी honesty से कहानी बोलोगे शायद award will follow.
I wanted to add to this, and I've said this from the days of Lunchbox, that especially for Oscar, what is needed is a very solid American distribution for your piece of content. For short format, you definitely need to apply to Oscar qualifying festivals. But for as you do feature films and as India sends more films, it's very, very important for the committee, for all of us to understand, and especially as press people, to understand the film should have solid America distribution. And I think this is what Netflix here has empowered and proven, because we are here because of extensive experience of Netflix US and the awards team and the global impact that the platform has in 190 countries and 231 million viewers, everything adds up. And because we had solid American distribution, we were also on the service in America. There has been a very active conversation around the film. So the film was seen more, heard more, celebrated more. The fan art was huge, and I think we are here because of the incredible experience that was behind us of Netflix US. So this has been, pushed by, of course, made by Netflix India, and Netflix at large is our distributor, is our studio, and that is what is the core. So I'm very hopeful to many more now.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Disha. I'm from News 18. Hi, straight. Hi. I have two questions. First of all, I wanted to know is what are the aspects do you think that appeal the Academy that led to the Oscar win? And secondly, okay, I'll ask my second question after that.
What was the first question? Aspects that appeal to the Academy of the film. Oh, wow. I think we will all just sit here and guess because it's a very fair voting process. There are 10,000 voters around the world, and we are not really allowed to ask them, or we are not really allowed to directly ask who voted, who did not vote. But I think if the film is appealed to so many people around the world, it's appealed to the voters also. It's the beauty of the film, it's the beauty of Kartiki's vision and Bomman and Billie and their abundant love, their selfless abundant love that transcended boundaries, that transcended age groups. We've had 2-year-old babies looking at the film spellbound. They're looking at it on Netflix, spellbound. They're not able to blink, and they're calling each other Raghu and Amu, brother, sister, two twins. We've gotten these videos. Our DMs are full with love. So, I don't think the Academy voters are anyone else. They are all filmmakers. They're all excellent filmmakers. And the beauty of the film spoke to them above and beyond everything. And I think that is what we stand here and as testimony of that and of Kartiki's work.
Ma'am, my second question is actually to you only. Is that, see, we know you're a big Shah Rukh fan. Mannat is right here. Can we expect you to meet him anytime soon and celebrate?
I would love that. Shah Rukh Khan's sir tweeted, big hug Guneet, and my reply was, please in person. So even I'm waiting for that.
Are you open to directing a Marcy film?
Probably not. I definitely want to stay in the space of documentary because I'm a storyteller and I want to use my stories for change. And if there's a story in the fiction space that can enable change, why not? But otherwise, I'd love to stick to documentaries and tell real stories about real heroes like Bomman and Billie and how their lives can impact many people across the world in many different ways. Possibly, but not at this moment. I see myself as a documentary filmmaker going forward.
We will be definitely making more sure, ma'am. Aap hi decide kar lo. Yes, next question.
Okay, next. We have time for one last one. Microphone? Huh?
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Pooja from Leisure Bite. Firstly, congratulations for the big win. And my question is to Kartiki. The documentary is beautiful, and the moment that stayed with me is that wedding picture, where people are posing with the animals. It just shows the beautiful bonds between humans and animals, and it just stayed with me. I don't know, I was teary-eyed when I saw that thing. But you have seen that firsthand. What is it that those raw emotions and looking at them taking care of those elephants? What is it that stayed with you the most and changed the way you look at animals and the bond between humans and animals?
To begin with, my background is that I'm a natural history photographer and filmmaker. So I always had this beautiful connection with the natural world. So I think while I was making this documentary, I was really just drawn to Raghu and Amu and the connection that they had with Bomman-Billie. And sorry about that. I think the relationship has always been there, and I think this just added a whole different layer. I think more than my relationship to animals, I think I was blown away by the power of storytelling in this piece, because being with animals has been part of my life ever since I was 18 months old. But I think what really changed me with this documentary is seeing how powerful a small story from the heart of South India can really reach out to the world in so many ways, and how it can ultimately make change in a place. I think that's what really stood out for me in this entire journey. And of course, spending all the time that I did with Bowman and Belly, and being a part of this beautiful relationship and bond that they shared.
Okay, guys, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choreograph some pictures. So I'd request the four of y'all to come center stage and you do pictures, and then I'm going to call upon members of Team Sikhya to come one by one, and we'll do another round of pictures. So for now, we'd request the four of you to come center stage and one round of pictures, please.